been insanely cold, at least overnight around here, for say about a week. And I think we have tonight and maybe tomorrow night, and then we're in the clear, at least for the foreseeable future. So I'm very excited about that. And this morning when I came out to do the morning chores, all the water was frozen, so that's a pig pile right there. Aww. I had to double check the pig waterer because the nipples on it were frozen, and I need to make sure that it is not anymore. And the little duckies need some fresh water. I need to catch the roosters this evening. I have a special trick up to my sleeve, thanks to all of you guys. I have tested, it does work. But before we do that, I need to make sure that they are protected from the elements. Well, that definitely seemed a little bit easier than it should have been. So now I need to finish securing it. I think probably a couple of these guys here will do the trick. So now I just need to go find the corner stakes so that I can hammer those into the ground, secure the corners to make it nice and tight. Because at some point something came along and knocked down 3.5 stakes. It does look like something tried to jump it like a deer. I don't know how things are where y'all are at, but where I'm at, I'm getting very, very excited for the coming of spring. So many different signs that are telling me it is just around the corner. Seeing all kinds of migrating birds flying north. I've seen blue jays, I've seen cardinals. There are all different kinds of the bushes around here are starting to get green buds on them. Just really excited. And once we get everything set up for all of these roosters, we're gonna take part in another spring tradition. Well, almost spring tradition. Gonna start some more seeds. This is Henry. I don't know if you guys have met Henry yet, but this is little Henry. He is the one that is the most off and on as far as attention goes. Sometimes he could not care less about you, and other times he will not leave you alone. Come on, dude. We are out here for several reasons. Number one, you will notice my tape has worked and the window is still up. It is still good. It is very nice and toasty in here. Very pleased to find that. But we're ready to go ahead and start some seed trays. I have 5 trays of seeds already laid out. I made the labels for them all. They're ready to go. We're just gonna do that this evening once we catch all the roosters, but I don't want to come out here to make the trays during the dark, so we need to do it now. But I need to mix up some more seed starting mix, so I figured I'd show you guys what I do with that. Bro. And it appears I mistakenly left my celery and celeriac out here to freeze in the freezingness. So, unfortunately, they are goners. I have a new plastic tub. I want one that has a lid because the cats enjoy using it as a litter box. I, however, do not enjoy them doing that, so I'm gonna keep them out with a lid. What I like to do is just find something. A vessel, some sort. And I do 8 parts of peat moss. So I'll do 8 of these as peat moss. Maybe I'll do this outside. 1 part perlite, these little white things. and 1 part vermiculite. I bought this giant bag last year and I don't know how to open it. There we go. I got it. Looks like I'm gonna need to do that twice. If you do this, make sure you're being careful with your breathing bags. Cover it up or do it outside, downwind. Upwind? Upwind. Then you gotta mix it up really good. This is one reason that it's good to do, like, you mix like half of it and then half of it, and then that was just a little bit easier to kind of mix up. But since we made it twice, it doesn't really matter. Get out of there! Get out of there, that's not your potty box. And once it's mixed up and it looks mixed, and you need to top it off with water. Usually I like to add in boiling water, like nice hot boiling water. The boiling water is basically to kill off anything that could be in it, like any kind of mold or bugs or eggs or anything like that. But I just decided I don't want to pour boiling water into plastic anymore. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to run the risk of whatever might be hatched in there. I feel like that's a lot less dangerous than putting boiling water in plastic. I am planning a little bit later on in the season to go ahead and use a galvanized water tub, galvanized, you know, the watering tubs like for horses and stuff like that. It's gonna take a lot of scrubbing. It's pretty dirty. We used it as a brooder last year and it still has the remains in there, so I don't want to deal with that today. So we're just gonna do this guy here, and I'm gonna go and get some water. So I got 4 out of the 5 done, and that is because I remembered that I have one extra one from last time that I did not end up using. I'm gonna go ahead and take these inside. I'm gonna share with you the seeds that we're gonna be starting. I'm doing it inside because it's getting close to dark and I really don't wanna be cold while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna do that while I'm inside, drinking a nice hot cup of coffee and watching me some Gilmore Girls. Bless each and every one of you who gave me the idea of using a fishing net. Every single one of you. So easy. Okay, let's see if I can grab this guy. Not getting clipped here. Got him. Now all I have to do is clip his flight wings. They will go on forever. Now one by one we shall bring these guys to their new home. I'm thinking probably 6. So I did get 4 of them. 2 of them are on the loose because I accidentally let them go when I tried to get them out of the net. I got 3 eggs. So now I left the gate down. The rest of the birds seem to be up for the night. So I'm gonna leave the gate open, come back in like half an hour, and hopefully they would have gone inside. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and rustle up the bushes too, just to see if I can spook them out. All right, y'all, so as promised, I did come in here and I, last night, started all of the seeds. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little proud of myself because usually I procrastinate on those sorts of things. So I'm kind of happy and surprised that I went through it, and I did it. I went through with it, I should say. Sorry, this is a terrible backdrop, but I just don't have any lighting in my house. Maybe I could open that one. Hopefully this is a little bit better, but you might notice in the background, we have a new addition. We finally got a couch. After almost 2 years without a couch, we finally have one. And I've got my blanket there that I was working on. It took me probably about 4 or 5 months to finish it, but I'm pretty stoked. It's there. We finally have a couch, and yeah, so happy dance. So the seeds that I have started, I went ahead and just put them, I have a few extra of these little photo boxes and it was very handy. I just went through, I organized everything, I picked out the ones that I want to start, and I sorted them based on the 72 cell flats that I want to put them in. It worked out fantastic. So the first flat that I started was kind of winter greens, and I did the Votes collards, Georgia Southern collards, Ellen Felton dark collard, Kamatsuna spinach mustard. I don't know if it's spinach or a mustard, but it looks like a mustard green. And then the rest is just kale. So I did 6 of each of these ones. There's 12 seeds total, so I did 6 of each. Lacinato kale from Seed Savers Exchange, scarlet kale from M.I. Gardner, marrow stem kale, red Russian, red Ursa kale, dazzling blue. I think I picked this one up this past year when I was at Baker Creek. Tronchuda kale, probably not correct. And Delaware kale. You know, I know that we as a family are not going to consume the amount of kale that I'm growing. I am growing a lot of these for animal feed, particularly those particularly for the birds, especially the ducks. They tend to like a lot of the leafy green type things. So just trying to supplement our feed bill on that one. I think of these ones I did 6 of these ones. Gloriosa Daisy, Bachelor's Button. This is a Black Boy Bachelor's Button. Classic Artistic Mix, Bachelor's Button again. Blue Boy, I have a couple different varieties from different seed growers, but this is the Baker Creek one. M.I. Gardner and Lake Valley Seed. These are the ones you kind of find more in the store. A red Bachelor's Button, African Disc Daisy, Blue Disc, pardon me. You can see kind of the center is blue. And an early Charm Aster, Giant Perfection Mix of Aster. And how cool is this one? This one I actually did 12 of. The other ones in this pack I did 6. And then this one, I'm going a little bit heavy on the flowers, I'm not gonna lie, because last year I tried to direct sow a lot of pretty much all of my flowers, and I had no success with it whatsoever. My plan is to start a bunch of these ahead of time, plant them, and then direct sow some seeds in the same area so that I can have a little bit of a succession sow growing on. But I did 12 of each of these. A Lollipop Mix Gaillardia, Indian Blanket Gaillardia, Zulu Prince Daisy, Ageratum Blue Horizon. No idea how to pronounce that. This is actually the first time I've even seen that variety of flower. Same thing with this one. It is a Heavenly Blue Tweedia and a Cherry Twist Snapdragon. I did look on the back of the seeds, and most of them gave instructions as to how deep to plant them. Like all of these ones except for the Snapdragon was a surface sow, so I did that, and then the rest of these ones, all I did was I just had a pencil, and I just kind of poked the pencil down about an eighth to a quarter of an inch and planted them. I'll show you the results here, don't worry. Don't you worry. For some more flowers, same thing, some of these were surface sown, some of them were not. These ones I believe I did 9 of each because I had 8 seed packets. So there is Yarrow, we have Love Parade, you can see how beautiful purple that is. Colorado Mix, this is a very, very old seed packet, so we'll see how well it actually germinates. Cerise Queen Yarrow, Hollandia Purple Crown Dianthus. Absolutely am in love with this one. I'm really hoping that this is the seed that I think it is, and it is just an incredibly amazing smell to it that just like, it spreads so far. Like the smell of that is just incredible, and I really hope it is. It looks like one that I had come across, and I asked the person what it was. They said it was not that name, but when I typed in the name of it, it popped up with the Dianthus, so really hoping it is. Rainbow Loveliness Dianthus, very different looking. And then petunias, we have the Carcucla? And greetings from Jerome. Jeromir. Whatever. And a verbena. This last one I did 12 of each, and that is because the germination rates on these and trying to get these things to actually grow has been proven to me to be just a pain in the butt. So I planted a lot of them. And we have Aunt Molly's Ground Cherry, New Hanover Ground Cherry. This one is just ground cherry. Lowen Family Heirloom, Husk Ground Cherry, or a Husk Cherry Tomatillo. I don't know if that's a Tomatillo. Well, it says Tomatillo, but it also says, I don't know. We'll see what it is. And a Tamarillo. That is all the seeds that I started. And I did, like I said, I looked at them to see how to grow them, like how to start them, and I started them accordingly. But let's go check out my seed stash. We finally got a fan in here. I say by we, I mean my husband. And that is because he knew that that needed to happen, and I was in the middle of having a little bit of a anxiety attack and just not having a great day. So he did that knowing that it needed to be done, took something off my plate, which I greatly appreciate whenever he does that. But this is my current seed starting setup. Let me turn off the fan so we can get a little bit better sound in here. Maybe get a little bit better lighting as well. But this is everything. The onions I have given up on. They are completely gone. I'm gonna get these out of here today so the mold doesn't spread. But these are all the broccolis, the cauliflowers, Brussels sprouts, things like that up here as well. Today promises to be the last day of freezing overnight. So in the morning, and most likely in the next vlog, I'm gonna go ahead and take all of these guys out of here. I'm gonna leave the ones in here that we just started, as well as all of the peppers. And that is basically because the peppers just need more warmth. And I just want to make sure that these guys are sprouting and that they are doing well. But I do not want to leave the ones that are fully grown in here. And the reason for that is because next week is tomato starting week. So I'm going to need a lot of room in here because we're going to be starting a lot of tomatoes. So that's going to be a next week gardening vlog. But you can see they're all just doing fantastic, except for the onions. And the peppers are definitely slow to start. I didn't realize until this morning that they were a little bit on the dry side. So I think we might have lost a few of them. You can kind of see here. We'll see if they end up coming back from the dead. But most likely they will not. And I also forgot to put the hot pads on them for about a week. And then when I finally did, they started to sprout better. Peppers really do enjoy having that external heat from like a heating mat. I have 3 of these. Also last night I was able to get the rest of the chickens, the rest of the roosters that I wanted to get. See if we can get it to focus. They're all just kind of chilling out there. I am very surprised with how little they are crowing. All but one seems very happy in here. They're all just digging around and doing their chickeny things. But you can definitely tell that one of them is not happy to be here. He is not happy to be away from his ladies. You can see he's the big guy. He's the one on the left there. But he's not happy. All of the ones that I picked, with the exception of him, are the younger ones. I could tell them because one, you know, the older ones are a little bit bigger, but also they're I don't know what you call them. They're spurs. He has a pretty developed spur, and the other ones do not. So that's kind of how I was able to tell them apart. So there are 3 roosters remaining, I believe 10 or 11 hens. So you can see why I needed to get them out of there. It was pretty much almost a 50-50 split with roosters and hens. Then that's also why we had to start locking them up, because they were unfortunately getting picked off pretty quickly by predators. And I think it is a combination of aerial birds, as well as there's a pack of wild dogs that keep coming up to our property. They're not actually wild, they're just not fenced in animals, and they're just terrorizing our birds. So I think that's probably where a good chunk of the fatalities for our chickens ended up coming from. So I have my Monday night live stream tonight. We're going to be giving away more prizes. If you guys missed that and you're watching this video tomorrow, make sure you go back and check it out, see if you guys won. And if you want to see how I set up that chicken area over there and all the things that I did, make sure you check out this video right here. I brought you guys along for all of that, so enjoy that if you wish to, and peace out, sauerkraut.